Villanova. We are joined by student athletes today, Maddie Burke, Christina Dolce, Brooke Mullen, Lucy Olson, and Maddie Segrist. Format is the same as it's been the last couple of days. Please raise your hand, identify yourself and your affiliation, and which player you're directing the question to. And we will open it for questions now, and we'll start back here with Dan.
Dan Gelson, Associated Press. How you doing? Maddie, you've accomplished so much this season, and you're projected almost everywhere as like a top 5 WNBA lottery pick. Is it even on the table next year? Would you even consider that, or this is it? This is your last game tomorrow, and it's off to the WNBA?
I wish it was an easy decision either way, but unfortunately, like when the time comes to, make that. Hopefully, it's in a few weeks and we win a lot more games. I'll have to sit down with my parents and really think about it. But either way, I'm so grateful for all the opportunities Villanova has given me over the past bunch of years.
Questions? Oh, down here. Get the microphone over there for Ken, the mic.
Mike Jensen, Philadelphia Inquirer. Could any or all of you embarrass Christina by saying what kind of work she's put in to do what she's done this season? And Christina, you can offer a rebuttal if you want.
Chris has come such a long way, from freshman year to now. She's just grown so much and matured so much. It's great to see as a senior, just seeing that growth. So she puts in a lot of hard work with our coach T. Really works on her and pushes her a lot. So it's good to see all the improvement.
Any specifics on that work?
It's a lot of post work and the finishing around the rim. She's grown so much around the rim.
I think also this season, just watching how much she's grown on the defensive end of not being able to foul, to be able to block that many shots and not foul the way she does is just so impressive. And I think it just speaks to Chris's ability and just knowing that we need her out there on the floor to be such a presence.
I have the best teammates, but definitely, speaking on myself, my team definitely helped me be where I am today, telling me that everything's okay. When I make a mistake, like I said, I am very hard on myself. So they try to give me as much encouragement by giving me high fives, patting me on the back, and even telling me it's okay. I know that was in foul or in practice or something like that. So, but those encouraging words definitely changed my mindset over the time, and to prepare me to be where I am right now.
This story will be about the work, so can you detail?
Sorry. Yeah. Definitely, like what Brooke said, working on post work, and the coaches did tell me to really focus on the defense and grabbing rebounds, and just to always box out first, so that every time the shot goes up, I make sure that I tag my player and then try to look for the ball or try to tip it out so that my teammates can get it. But the biggest thing is it's not even more the work, but my coach T, telling me to take my time on the post moves, because I already had them. It was just that I was just rushing my shots a lot, and but just to take my time, be patient, and then see what the options I have. And I think because of that, it did elevate me a long way.
Questions? Any other questions? Going once? We'll go back here again.
Go with Brooke. Dan Gelson. Do you feel at all you're the only Philadelphia team, men or women's Division I, still playing? And do you feel like you're carrying the banner for city basketball? There's obviously a lot of more attention on this team with all the success it's having anyway. But do you feel like with no one else fighting for attention, you're kind of?
I think just in the area, there's always they're always rooting for someone. So I feel just us being that team, it's it's exciting, and just seeing the Finn yesterday was just an amazing atmosphere just to play in. It was great. I think just being the only team. I don't know. I think that's special, because then everyone's looking at us, and it's just they're all rooting for us. So it's special to play for.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Philly fans are crazy, so.
Yeah, I would second that. Philly fans are crazy, and
Yeah.
I just feel like it's been crazy in Philly, like with the Phillies first, and then the Eagles playing in the Super Bowl, and then now it's like, what other team is there to root for? And we're here and we're successful, so it's really special. Yeah.
Yeah, Mel down here.
Since I was playing to ask you a question, I'll follow up. Way back, what went into your decision here was, I was with your former people at Big Ten Media Day, and, didn't work out so well, but they were talking like maybe not the top of the Big Ten, but this was the year they were going to make a big move. So, worked out well for you, but.
Yeah. Well, just making the decision to be here it's the team first of all. I knew they were a great group. I grew up in the area, playing against Brooke, playing against Lucy, playing against like Kate. So I knew they were all good kids, and that's the most important part. Is their sisters off the court and on the court, of course. So that was the most important decision, and now we're here and we're very successful, and it's really special. So.
Right here.
Zach Tipton, WXVU Villanova Radio. How has it been for you guys knowing that you guys have been the starting five all year, but we've definitely seen Caitlin Oriole and Bella Runyon kind of come into the lineup, and they've really shown, especially recently, Bella and Caitlin have really shown great strides on the offensive end. What's it been like for you guys seeing them to succeed when you guys come out of the game knowing that you guys have them backing you up?
I think it's huge. I mean, not losing it, when those, especially those two, when they come in, it's like you're not losing anything. So I think it's almost like having 6, 7 starters, which I think, you want to have in March. You want to be that much more dangerous. And, they don't care how many minutes they play. Caitlin and Bella, they come in every game and they'll give it 100% when they're in. I think, that's just huge. And they provide that spark, which no matter how the game starts, to have kids come in with that big of a spark is huge.
Any other questions? Mike?
Have the coaches put a sufficient scare into you yet, showing Florida Gulf Coast things?
Yeah, we watched film this morning. I think they're a great team. But every team in the tournament's a great team. So just kind of having that mindset, we don't look at the seeding or anything like that. You just look at who you're playing, what you got to do to win the game. So I think, we've had that mindset all year, one game at a time, and, nothing's going to change now.
Megan Moore with the Philadelphia Inquirer. At the beginning of the year, kind of all you just said that your goal was to improve on last year. Now you have a chance to do that tomorrow night and get to the Sweet 16. What does it mean to have put yourselves in this position, and how exciting would it be to get to Greenville next weekend?
Yeah, I mean, last year was exciting just making it this far, and I feel like now that we've experienced that, we just want a taste of a little bit more. So all year we've worked up to this, and like Maddie said, one game at a time. So it's just so special to be able to even make, we've made it this far, but to have the opportunity to make it even farther is amazing.
How do you plan on limiting the Florida Gulf Coast three-point shooting? They're one of the top teams in the country every year in three-point shooting. How do you plan to limit that?
I think it's focused on defense and just having a hand up on all the shooters because all of them are three-point threats. That's what they look to in transition. They're looking for threes or layups, so we just have to stay focused on defense throughout the 40 minutes of the game.
Anything else? Villanova, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We are now joined by Villanova head coach Denise Dillon. And coach, if you want to give an opening statement, then we'll open it up to questions. Same deal as before. Just wait for us to get the microphone to you, and we'll go from there. Coach.
Yeah, excited to be here. Get ready for practice. Short turnaround against a very talented Florida Gulf Coast team. But I know the girls are locked in, ready to hear what we have to do.
Questions, please. Go right here.
Zach Tipton, WXVU, Villanova Radio. Coach, FGCU is an incredible three-point shooting team. Every year they're in the top of the country in that category. How do you stop that? How do you slow them down on the outside?
Yeah, well, it's a combination of what they do. You know, they drive the ball, try and force some help so they can get the open three. So just relying on a lot of the one-on-one coverage, and conversation has to be had of when we're switching, taking up space, and getting out there to limit their threes. If we can get these guys to a mid-range game, then we're putting ourselves in a good position.
Right here, Terry.
Hey, Denise, Terry from the Delco Times. You know, Bella seems to really kind of have embraced her role. You know, what does she bring to the table for you, your team?
Yeah, well, she brings a lot. You say her role is initially as that defensive spark, just putting her in the game to mix it up. We've said it from the beginning. She and Brooke Mullen have done a tremendous job, like tag teaming on the best guard on the other team. But what Bella does, whoever you put her on, she's willing to battle and fight. So she sets that tone. But we see her ability on the offensive end. So not just relying on her for some isolation plays, but contributing in different areas. So she is just. I think we have such a great team and their willingness to do anything for each other, but Bella certainly has that mentality in all she does. So one thing I learned from Bella Runyon when she first got here was don't stop, won't stop, and she's been true to those words from the beginning.
Is you know, a lot of all your girls seem to have accepted their roles. Is that one of the big reasons this team has been so successful?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I think in what we do, our defensive concepts of working together, the versatility. You know, we say on the offensive end, positionless players, but you have to be that way on the defensive end as well. And they've really embraced that. You know, just it gives them opportunities on the floor to show different pieces as opposed to just being set in one spot or another, or just a perimeter defender or a post defender. They're playing the game as it should be played in all different areas.
Questions? Right back here to Dan.
Dan Gelson, Associated Press. I mean, Maddie, I guess like all athletes, has an extra year of eligibility. Is that even on the table, or is this it? She's going to the WNBA. Have you had any kind of talks with her about that?
Yeah, no decision has been made to date. Maddie is staying focused in on taking this team as far as we can go. So her, as you can see it, when she steps on the floor, her full attention is to Villanova basketball. So yes, I guess that conversation will be had at some point in April.
Questions? We have one in the back here.
John Nebels from Philadelphia Sports Digest. Can you talk a little bit about the unselfishness of this team? There's a theme that keeps coming up that it doesn't matter whether they're getting 25 minutes or no minutes, and how important that is, particularly at this time of the year.
Yes, it's definitely appreciated as a coaching staff. You know, you see it, and as I said about this group, their effort every day at practice just shows their willingness to get better, but it shows their joy for the game. And there's nothing greater, you know, than have an opportunity to work with players who just want to continue to get better and see their teammates get better. So when you have that as a group, you appreciate it, but you also know that great things can happen, and I think they have recognized that in the last couple years. We say it always starts with the leadership, and you know, Maddie Sechrist, Brooke Mullen, Bella Runyon as our captains have set that tone, and you see the selflessness in their game. You know, we just talked about Bella Runyon, Brooke Mullen. You don't see the numbers; they're not flashy, but her teammates know exactly what she does for this team. And you do see the numbers in Maddie Seacrest, but you don't hear the stories of how she guides them and helps them along off the court as well, and just offers that confidence and encouragement in any way possible.
When you see the highlights of games as a coach, outside of basketball, do you step back and sometimes just watch their reactions to each other from a human standpoint?
Yeah, actually I do. I mean, even seeing yesterday, I got caught up in a little bit with Megan Olbrys, and she threw the towel and was basically on the court. I was like, what's happening here? So it's a genuine excitement that they have. And yeah, you do. You love that. We say celebrate each other, and they really do.
Good luck on Monday.
Thank you.
Down here to Mike.
Mike Jensen, Philadelphia Inquirer. Denise, was there a conversation with Christina after last season about, okay, this is what I want you to work on, and then was there a point in October it's like, okay, maybe she's put in some work here?
Sure. Yes, Christina last year, she would come into the office often. Unfortunately, she went through trial things. It was mono, it was COVID, it was her knee. So we could never really get her on point to put together like 2 weeks in a row. It was just unfortunate. It was one thing after the next, but she continued to come into the office and ask, what do I need to do? What can I do? I want to help this program. I want to help get better. So when you have players coming into your office and having those conversations, you can throw a lot at them when their time comes. And she recognized, Brianna Herlihy finishing and an opportunity to step into that position. So it all started first with just her mental approach of, okay, this is going to happen. I'm going to get a chance. Now with that chance, I have to show I deserve it and I earned it. So she took care of some things, the physical aspect of it, getting herself conditioned and in position, and just came in ready and willing to do anything. I give a lot of credit to Tiara Malcolm, who has been a tremendous addition to our program. Christina's a true post presence, and Tiara, being a former post player herself, but a post coach, has really taken her under her wing and added a lot to her game. So it's been a nice combination.
Questions? Any other questions? We go right here to Mel.
Way back when soon after you made that long trip from West Philadelphia to here, remember you had made a remark to me that for this team to be like what you had done with Drexel may take a bit, like you were basically indicating this may not be an overnight, here. And it wasn't overnight, but it was pretty quick. When did you see maybe that it won't take that long to get to that team?
I think just the recognition of the ability the players have. You always, as a coach, have to reinvent yourself each year to the team that you have and the players. And it was just the quick growth. I mean, you knew what Maddie Seacrest, her ability, like her skill set, but to see her develop different areas of her game. And I mentioned just the leadership aspect, bringing players along with her, bringing in that strong group, now sophomores last year, but throwing them right into the fire early, and them wanting more, just wanting to be better. When a team makes a decision that they want to be good and then climb into the ranks of great, as coaches, you're guiding them along and just demanding that excellence, and they thrive off it. So when you have that, things happen a little bit faster.
Megan Moorhart, the Philadelphia Inquirer. Chris obviously yesterday talked about her rebounding, and you know what you're going to get from her and Maddie inside on the rebounding end. But with a team that shoots as many threes as Florida Gulf Coast does, how important is getting those long rebounds just on the guard position and pushing in transition? How important is that going to be for you tomorrow?
Yeah, Megan, you've learned a lot about the game in your time with us. I like it. Yes, our guards as rebounders. We had said it going into the Cleveland State game with knowing they were going to be in a matchup zone. We talked about the offensive rebounding, and for us, we recognized we would be getting threes, so long shots, long rebounds. So now we put the flip where Florida Gulf Coast is going to be trying to take those shots, and it has to be the guards. I mean, Chris, her timing's pretty good, and she gets up there for some of those rebounds. But, yeah, if they're off the back rim, we got to get our guards in there right away. And they have the mentality, but it has to be that reminder of get after. We can't afford a rebound, kick out for another three. It's got to be the one-and-done factor.
Coach, it's really hard to win a game in March Madness, and you've now done it 2 years in a row. What did you learn from last year's round of 32 that can help you prepare you for this game tomorrow?
Yeah, I think just the awareness that there is the possibility. I think our team felt that last year. I think there was the excitement of winning that first game and how we won. You know, it was a battle back and forth with BYU and pulled out a tough win. And then going against Michigan was almost, all right, here we are in the second round, where after that game finished, there was great disappointment that we didn't do enough to win the game. So we fast forward to now, and this team has a mentality of, all right, we can advance. So what needs to be done, we're willing to do it, and we got to be a little bit better than we were the day before.
Last question, please. Thank you.
Chris Rim, the New York Times. When you said that the team is bought into being great or being good and you just lead them there, do you have examples of what you mean by that and how they've done that?
Well, I think it starts with conversation. You know, you have it with individual players asking, like, what do you want? Like, do you want to be average? Do you want to be good? Do you want to be great? And then you have it with the team. And when they say you want to be great, well, then you hold them to that. You know, it's the accountability. It's every practice. We say, you know, for us, every practice is preparation to beat UConn. And that's how we go about. And if you let up and you're only, you know, preparing to just beat each other up, well, then you're not going to win those big games. So preparing for the best will take care of itself when you step on the floor in playing games against any opponent. So it's been our approach from day one of practice mentality to prepare to win.
Yeah, so there hasn't been like a moment or a person that's kind of come to you, though. It's kind of like a team thing, and from practice you're saying, like with preparing for the standard with UConn and stuff like that.
Correct. It is, and then as I mentioned, even with Christine, like when players, they come in the office and ask, like, what more can I do? Then you know you've got them and you're ready to advance their game.
Denise, thank you.
Thank you.
student athletes Uju Azudu and Sophia Stiles with head coach Carl Smesko. We'll have the same format as we've had previously. Please raise your hand when you have a question. We'll get a microphone to you. We'll start with an opening statement from coach and then direct questions to the student athletes, and so we can excuse them. Go ahead, coach.
Well, we've advanced to play Villanova. They're a great team. Obviously, they have an exceptional player, but they're more than just one exceptional player. They're a really solid team that plays really well together, and they're really well coached. So we're trying to get prepared. It's a shorter prep period, but I liked our players' focus today, and we were able to get quite a bit of the game plan in, and we're hoping to have a great effort tomorrow.
Questions, please. Go back here.
Jaron May with WBBH. Sophia, with this quick turnaround, how does that change your preparation as an individual player?
I think it's just you have to be locked in right from the get-go. I mean, we started film last night, and it's just a different mindset. As soon as you see things, you have to just quickly remember them as soon as possible.
Uju, you guys are playing them on their home court. Obviously, that'll be an advantage for them. Yesterday, their game was pretty loud in the first round. What are you expecting from the fans come tomorrow, and how can you guys kind of counteract that, and how are you preparing for that?
I think their fans are going to bring a lot of energy, as any home team does, but I think we are FGCU basketball no matter where we play. We're ourselves anywhere, neutral court, away, home. So I think we're not going to be rocked by anything or shocked by the noise. I think we remain humble and have that humility and maturity as a team.
What would a win tomorrow mean for you guys? I mean, this program has 4 first-round wins, but never a second-round win. What would it mean to be able to do that while you are on the roster?
I mean, it would mean everything to me. I mean, I've never even gotten half of as far as I've gotten this year, so I think that we're always pushing one way at a time, and I think we would really be appreciative of a win tomorrow, but, we're always looking to go as far as where we want to go,
Sophia, kind of the same question for you is what would a win tomorrow mean, and what specifically do you guys need to do in order to get that W?
Yeah, similar to Juice, I've never even experienced an NCAA tournament, so just being here is a great experience, but being able to get that second round win would be really amazing to be a part of. It's kind of hard to make milestones with Coach Smesko's record, to be on a team that does something like that would be really special.
Other questions for the athletes right here? Just go for whatever you want. Go for whoever. Okay.
Dan Gelson, Pico. Did you guys have some trouble getting here today?
Well, I mean, we got here, but there's a little bit of traffic. I guess there was a car accident that was preventing us from getting here on time, but it all worked out.
Watching film, I guess, watching the game yesterday, anything surprise you about what you've seen about Maddie and the difficulties she might provide?
Well, we're well aware of her before yesterday. I mean, she's one of the best players in the nation. She's an All-American, one of the top players in the country. We know that nobody's really been able to hold her under 20 points all season. So we just are hoping to make it so that she's not as efficient as she usually is. If we can just have her make tough shots, which she's more than capable of doing, but just not giving her any easy points. That's our game plan, and we understand we can't just have one person. We need to be able to guard her as a team.
And a quick follow. I mean, as you know, do you worry at all that other programs like Power 5 type programs look at your roster, look at rosters of teams like yours, and watching the tournament thinking these are maybe some players that I want in the portal, to try and get for next year down the road?
Yeah, I never really worry about that. If there's somebody that wanted to go to a Power 5 from our roster, that would be fine if that's what their dream is. For us, a lot of transfers come to us because they want to play in the NCAA tournament and have that opportunity. And hopefully the players on our team are having a good enough experience and a good enough team atmosphere that they realize they have something special right where they're at. And I think for the most part, our players have that sense. It's been a lot of fun coaching them this year. They have, a great team bond. They have a lot of fun together. They enjoy every part of it, from the bus rides to the meals, and then, all the game activities that we have. So, I never really concerned myself with that, and I would never want to hold somebody back from doing whatever they wanted to do with their dream. So, no, not really.
Just one last question for the players. Uju, last game against Washington State, they were a taller team. Villanova is going to be the same way. But it seems like you guys haven't really had that trouble. I mean, you think back to the ASUN championship. Liberty was also a really tall team, and you won that rebounding battle. So what do you guys do, I guess is the easiest way to phrase that, to be able to handle taller teams, especially with when you look at your roster size, it's on the smaller side?
Yeah, I know we're a really gritty team, and we have a lot of heart. I know a lot of the people who play post or play the 4 or the 5 on our team have been playing that position for a lot of their life and have always been undersized. For me as well, it's heart over height. It's always been that. So if you want to get a rebound, you're going to get a rebound. It doesn't matter how tall you are. We emphasize that a lot, and we work hard on it every day. So just because someone is 4 inches taller than me doesn't mean that they're guaranteed to get a rebound or to do anything more than I can do it or anyone on our team can do it. So we're just a very gritty team, and we're determined to get the things we want to get.
I just have some for Coach.
Go.
Coach, you've won the first round game a couple times in your career. Haven't got past the second round. What have you learned from those past round of 32 games that you can help implement for tomorrow's matchup?
I don't think there's anything from those games in particular. Obviously, it's tough anytime you're playing a top 15 team in the nation on their home court and they're going to have a full house. But I really like this team. I mean, the way they play together and the way they pull together in tough moments, I definitely believe they're more than capable of winning tomorrow. And we're preparing, and we'll be ready, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yesterday, you kind of alluded to this in the post-game press conference, but your father was here, your brother was here, you had your family here. How was that experience specifically with your father? He's not able to come to a lot of your games these days, but how was that experience to be able to have him here and introduce him to the team?
Yeah, it was a great moment. I mean, he calls me after all of our games. He watches all of them. He always has advice. And, he really loves our players. Like, he wants to see them be successful. And for him, it was a big moment because for a lot of them, this is the first time he got to see any of them in person after watching them on TV all these times. So it was a great moment for me personally to see him so touched by the game and our success, and to have other family members here also in attendance was a big moment for me.
Obviously, he has his history in the sport of basketball. How has he had an impact on you throughout your career, both playing and coaching?
Well, I mean, I was a coach's kid. I got to go scouting when I was like 6, 7 years old, and go to high school games and spend them with my dad, watching film with my dad. I'd go to the practices and, interrupt practice all the time, and just be somebody who would always be around the game and just loved it from the time I was very young. He was somebody that was very strict, but he would let me stay home from school to watch the NCAA tournament. And really, when he agreed to that, I couldn't believe it. But he thought that was a just reason. And March Madness was always the greatest moments in our household to watch that, or go to the high school state championships every year. March was just, amazing time when you love basketball and you're a basketball fan like, our family is.
Sophia, how was that experience to be in the locker room yesterday? And obviously you've grown close with Coach, but to be able to, see his father and experience that moment with him.
Yeah, that was actually really sweet. I had no idea he was in the stands, so he came in. I can't remember who said it, but they called him the real GOAT. So I'm sorry, Coach. But I mean, just to see the man who raised someone who I'm, very just proud to learn under is a really, really cool experience.
Any other questions? I think we're good. Florida Gulf Coast, thank you.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.